Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Today there's a lot of interesting news, especially developments outside crypto that I want to start with first. First, Facebook considering blockchain lock-ins. So Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is seriously evaluating blockchain's potential to allow internet users to log into various services via one set of credentials without relying on third parties. Such a use for technology would make a compelling alternative to services like Facebook Connect, the social media giant's single sign-on application. Zuckerberg said in a recently posted video interview with Harvard Law professor Jonathan Zittrain. And he said basically you take your information, you store it on some decentralized system, and you have the choice to log into places without going through an intermediary. So what he means is basically that now he is actually considering, right, a very useful real use case for the blockchain technology to apply to his customers, to allow Facebook users, right, to store their personal information like their name, email, date of birth, address, or mobile number in some centralized location somewhere. But for access to any platforms, or if any apps want to use their information, they then user have the options, right, to give different level of access, or they can just give 1/3 of permission of that, or 1/3 of information in that centralized platform to their app of their preference, right? So that means users control how much data they want to give out. User control their privacy, and power then shift back to the user. So that's the good part of it. And he mentioned that the downside though is, of course, right, the downside, and which I can also think of, is that in the case of hacker hacking this data, stealing all this personal information, breach of data, there is no centralized party, such a strong, company like Facebook, who has invested in like billions of dollars in their compliance, in their monitoring, in deterring to stop the hackers, right? So when it's decentralized like that, when there's a hacker able to breach into the data, the information will just be lost, and there's no central party who invested so much money to stop it. So that's why he's weighing the pros and cons. But one is, of course, that, there is that. Second is that Facebook CEO is considering a real use case of blockchain. That is really significant, right? And it's also, they have also acquire talent in this space. So it is really interesting to see what they are going to build out. And, something definitely very keen to watch for us in the crypto, right? Crypto holders like you and me. And because anything that they do will have positive impact, or generally will have a positive impact on pushing crypto to mainstream, right? Given that they have such a wide reach. Next, Samsung confirms Galaxy S10 will include private crypto key storage. So Samsung's latest flagship phone will include a dedicated secure storage function designed for cryptocurrency private keys. They have just launched this Galaxy S10 on Wednesday, 20th of February, and include a new function targeted toward cryptocurrency users in the form of Samsung Knox, the world's largest smartphone producer, announced. So they are not the first one, but they are definitely the first large company, right, to have inbuilt feature targeting crypto customers, right? And that is really, really huge. And in comparison, Apple really need to step up because they are not doing anything yet, at least in this regard. Already a few months ago, there have been a lot of leaked report, rumors saying that Samsung latest phone will have crypto features, and now it is really confirmed, right? And that is really, really good, because Samsung is a really, is a very well-known household name already, right? And there are a lot more people with mobile phone than people with banking accounts. So the fact that they have this inbuilt into their phone, definitely it can open up the crypto market and crypto adoption to a new base of users that many Samsung users, I'm sure, are not into crypto. So again, it just widened the adoption and reach and awareness, right, of crypto. And when people are aware, at least they will have a curiosity tendency to find out what it is, right? And especially couple that if a rally market, which seems to be starting now, and if this momentum continues, then it will be really, really good for crypto holders like you and me, right, the prices will go up. And the thing is then, of course, if you are considering or you have not yet increased your holdings, this might be a time where you should consider seriously, do you want to increase your holdings now, right, before the next rally begin? The other thing that they have is also that not only their phones have crypto function, a storage of private keys, they also have a new phone that called Galaxy Fold that actually has a folding function, and that is really cool. You should take a look at it, right, where I'm going to show you soon.
Here's where things get really cool. I can unfold it and instantly see the map on the big screen.
That is 3-app multitasking in action. On the left, the YouTube video is playing. On the right, he's messaging a friend, and if he needs to browse the web, it's right there in the third window. And if he wants to browse in the bigger window, he can do that too. All he has to do is just drag the browser over to the larger display.
Moving on, we have UBS is fined $4.2 billion in French tax evasion case. So in yesterday's news, right, they are making headlines. UBS one of the largest bank, right, well known for private banking and wealth management, they are fined $4.2 billion, almost equivalent to their 2018 net profits in French tax evasion case. What happened was they were alleged that they helped a lot of French rich people to launder money, right? Basically evade tax, and that's why they have to be fined 4.2 billion. This is really, really huge, right? And again, so yeah, it is the biggest criminals are the banks, right? And that's why, Anthony Pompliano said, right, long Bitcoin, short bankers. That's exactly, every day you have news like this that again strengthen the case why people have to go to decentralized alternatives like Bitcoin and major cryptocurrencies. Moving on, Twitter new tipping app. So Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, has endorsed the new extension based on Lightning Network that allows users to send and receive tips on Twitter using a second layer scaling solution for Bitcoin, right? What is that solution? It is something called tipping application, right? Twitter users just need to sign in on Tippin. It's a separate app, and then with that you can receive. So if you can display your URL for people to donate satoshis, that means a very little money, but it's just a tip to you via Twitter, because if other people or your followers think you have a very great tweet, then they're happy to donate a small tip to you. Then now they can use tipping, and is powered by Lightning Network. So this is really, really good, right? I mean, Jack Dorsey always have been a strong supporter of Bitcoin. He has publicly said that internet should have a native currency, and that native currency could very well be Bitcoin. So very, very pro Bitcoin, and he has also been passed the lightning torch before, right? And now that his platform is able to allow users to just tip people very easily using Lightning Network as the infrastructure, as the foundational layer underneath it. So that's really cool. Then the next step is, of course, it'd be great if Twitter is able to embed Lightning Network natively in its platform, right? And if that also followed by Facebook and WhatsApp, and that will be then really, really cool. Moving on, crypto is not a substitute for the precious metal gold, says World Gold Council. So WGC's World Gold Council published a report late last month arguing that gold is very different from cryptocurrencies. It's less volatile, has a more liquid market, and trades in a regulatory environment. Gold price has appreciated 10% per year on average since the collapse of Bretton Woods in the 1970s. And Bitcoin's price, on the other hand, has been extremely volatile, some 10 times that of the dollar-denominating gold price, right? And in a nutshell, they say that Bitcoin's performance has until recently been remarkable, but its purpose as an investment seems quite different from gold. Cryptocurrencies have yet to be tested in multiple markets. It is very interesting that the World Gold Council is publishing a report on cryptocurrencies, right? And the thing is this, a lot of people have actually regarded as Bitcoin as a digital gold. That means, right, really threatening the position of gold as a store of value and medium of exchange. Now, the thing is this, of course, one cannot deny that the plus point, the clear benefit of Bitcoin over actual gold is that Bitcoin is much, much more portable, right? So you can literally take your Bitcoin, millions of dollars, right, in a thumb drive, and you can just walk across the border like that. While you cannot move, or it's very, very difficult to move your gold, millions of dollars worth of gold, across the border just like that, without it being confiscated or being questioned, right, or being, taken part of it and so forth, right? So that is the clear benefit. And that's why there are people who say one of the path to Bitcoin going mainstream to reaching its astronomical value is that at some point, people who hold gold will then switch over some of their holdings of gold into Bitcoin. And that's when then, again, this will give a big push to the gold prices, right? And imagine this, today's market cap, Bitcoin's market cap is about $60 billion, right? And gold market cap as a whole is $7 or $8 trillion, right? So that is many, many times bigger than Bitcoin market cap. And even a small percentage of that move over to Bitcoin, that is many multiples for Bitcoin. And that is why, it is really bullish. And I'm not surprised at why the World Gold Council should be worried that gold investors will diversify some of their holdings into Bitcoin, because it just makes sense to. And every day that Bitcoin is making news, right, more and more people, more gold investors will be aware of Bitcoin. Moving on, crypto investment services from BitGo to add support for Tron. So institutional grade cryptocurrency investment services from BitGo will provide wallet and custody support for cryptocurrency Tron, right? And this is Tron that joins over 100 other digital currencies already supported by BitGo. So BitGo yesterday already in the news as well, because they have the first most transparent, they are offering crypto insurance for their clients, right? And this is offered by a very prominent, very large established insurance firm, Lloyd's of London. So today again, they are in the news saying that they are now adding Tron into their cryptocurrencies that they support. So very, very good news for Tron, because BitGo is targeting the institutional investors, and that means now Tron is also on the list that is endorsed by BitGo, right? Being something that is worthy of institutions in attention, and that's huge. BitGo, don't forget, BitGo has a lot of strong backers, including Goldman Sachs and Michael Novogratz, who has a lot of strong connections on Wall Street. So that is really, really good news for Tron. Moving on, Binance DEX is launching its testnet. So yesterday, February 20th was when Binance DEX launched its testnet officially, right? And now that they have put out a tweet saying that they are going to give out 5 Binance coin each to people who provide best suggestions and constructive feedback to them, because they really want to improve it, right? And the thing is this, this DEX is significant because it's broadening their offerings, decentralized exchange, because as you know, Binance has always been a centralized exchange, and they have done that for 1.5 years of existence. They've been very successful. They have largest trading volumes to date. And now they are doing a lot of new things, including launching their own native chain, right? Where basically they're able to list projects on them. And the first thing that they're going to list is their own decentralized exchange, right? And they are very much realizing that it is a very new endeavor, and it's probably something that they have, work in a rush timeline towards. That's why they rather do it on testnet, get the review, get the feedback first, fix any bugs before announcing the mainnet launch. They haven't announced an actual date for that because they want to make sure it's perfected first. And of course, a lot of people give very constructive feedback, which I have, select some of those here, including from Earnworld said, not mobile friendly at all, optimized charts position and order book position, rest are user friendly and smooth. And it says, another person, Champion Chow, said, so far, a BNB DEX looks promising, easy to use and very fast, very responsive. Congratulations on the hard work. Brad said, Binance SQL seems to have some issues with being mobile. EOLO said personal offer boxes with options for buying and selling on the exchange interface are extremely nice, but the trade history box of the stock is small and unusable. The countdown button can be added to new coins to be sold over Binance. Now, that means what I'm hearing now is, at least in the early stream of feedback shows that, it is not super mobile friendly. That means on the laptop is probably very good and very similar to the Binance centralized exchange user interface, but when you are accessing it through a mobile platform, it is still not that optimized. So it is not ideal. The UX is not ideal. And of course, some of the buttons and interface for buying and selling can be, and the trade history box is still small, so the trade history box should be made more visible, right? Make more clearer. And counter button also should be added. That's what it's definitely very constructive feedback from the community, and that's great. And the other thing I want to also highlight is that if you are a Ledger Nano S user, and probably many of you are, if not, you can also sign up you can buy via the link I have in my description below, right? That you can now access directly from your Ledger Nano to this Binance DEX. So what is so good about this way is that, everyone who is serious about cryptocurrency should hold their assets into a hardware wallet, and Ledger is the #1 wallet in the world today. Now, by doing that, you can just, access directly. That means you can trade directly from your wallet into on the platform of Binance DEX, and it's then very seamless. But the fact that it is testnet now, it is very important. Do not send your actual Binance coins to the DEX testnet. That's very key, right? Because if you do that now, it will result in a permanent loss. It's just a testnet, so do not actually send your real money into the platform to trade. But the fact that it is important just to highlight that in the future, when the mainnet is launched, you can definitely trade just from your wallet into the DEX, and that is really good, because that means the exchange don't control your private keys. So, but if anything happen, they can't recover your funds. But in a centralized exchange, if you lost your private key, there's still some ways to recover or to reset back your password. But if you're using DEX, no, you are on your own, right? Good and bad, Moving on, Wyoming lawmakers passed 3 bills in boost for state's crypto industry. So the U.S. state of Wyoming has passed several bills, including the first one is that they recognize digital assets as a property. Second, they clear the way for banks to act as crypto custodians. And third, they now allow securities to be issued a tokenized form. That is really, really important. And so after Ohio accept Bitcoin as tax payment, now you have Wyoming, making it very, very crypto friendly, right? That is not security, so that makes it very easy for anyone to offer crypto exchange in Wyoming, super easy. And crypto custodian is the key. That means any banks that want to offer custody services for crypto can now operate in Wyoming. Just register yourself in Wyoming, and then you can offer this service. So that is really, really good, because custody is one of the very key requirements for institutions to come into this space. And if you're not aware, I have released videos 2 days ago as well on pensions, right? First time pension investing into crypto via Morgan Creek Digital. The total fund size that they're investing is 40 million. Bulk of it is going into investing into crypto companies, but there is a small portion of that money, about 4 million, will invest directly into crypto. And that is historical. Amount is small because it's 4 million, is a very, very small percentage of their 5 billion total assets for the pension funds. But regardless, it is a very significant step in the history, in the milestone of cryptocurrencies, because now first time you have a pension funds investing directly into crypto, and that is history. Moving on, SEC settles unregistered securities charges against ICO issuer Gladius. So crypto startup Gladius have settled charges of running an unregistered securities offering with US SEC. They have conducted an ICO near the end of 2017. They raised about $13 million in the form of nearly 24,000 Ethereum. Now, In a press release, SEC explained that this ICO was not registered under the Federal Securities Law, and ICO itself did not qualify for an exemption from any registration requirements under this law. Under the settlement, Gladius will return funds to any investors who request a refund and registers its tokens as securities under SEC Act. The startup is not admitting to or denying the SEC's findings under the arrangement. But what is key is that the SEC will not be imposing a penalty as it has in the past due to the fact that Gladius self-reported its token sale to the regulator. So what is so significant about this news is that, right, Gladius, as you know, last year, a lot of the bear market started is because SEC clamped down on a lot of ICOs, deeming a lot of them, are the fact that they raised money through like similar to an IPO format, deem the tokens as a security, and they then need to register first with SEC before doing such an act, before raising the funds. So, and that has led to a lot of uncertainty in the industry, right? That some people think that it might even lead to government banning crypto. And that is actually spark off the rally that is more than 1 year long now. Now, Gladius in a very interesting, they are the first to actually voluntarily, right, comply with SEC, not fighting against SEC, which I think they are taking a very pragmatic approach, very practical approach, right? And they rather just return the funds, basically complying with the regulations, right? And maybe in the future that they are going to then apply to SEC back for another ICO, but we're not sure. But regardless, the significance is that because they self-regulate themselves, SEC also is kind enough to say that they are not going to fine them, right? To basically setting a precedence that if the players know how to regulate yourself, then the government is also going to return it, right? If you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Similar in this case, right? Where, so that's really, really good, because then you do see this is a key precedence to say that the SEC actually, they can be nice, they can be, they really want the industry to prosper as well. They just need, I guess they just need to show that they have some power, right? And you need to listen to them. That's what I think. Moving on, Goldman Sachs veterans raised $3 million to fight crypto manipulation. A US-based crypto surveillance startup led by former Goldman Sachs fintech engineers has raised $3 million in seed funding. So what is the company Solidus Labs? They provide machine learning and AI-powered trade surveillance platform for digital assets. What they do is that they're able to continuously learn as new patterns emerge and reveal new manipulation schemes or openings for manipulation. It enables responding as things happen rather than retroactively. So the key about this news is that now you have someone someone working formally in Goldman Sachs, which means he knows people in Goldman Sachs, right? That they are now having a company offering a product that, AI-powered trading surveillance. That means they will monitor the crypto trading to ensure that there's no manipulation. As you know, starting last year, a lot of government, even the senators, right, governors are actually complaining that the crypto trading are subject to manipulations, and they want to see proof why it's not, right? And this is really one of those key offerings that crypto exchanges should adopt to make sure, right, to give the credibility to get more institution clients to come on board that, the tradings are not being manipulated, that it is fully transparent and fair, right? Fair and transparent. Then you can attract more and more regulations. And more importantly, this can also then pave the way for the Bitcoin ETF to be approved, right? Yeah, that is really, really key. Next, Galaxy Digital backs $15 million raised for crypto analytics firm CipherTrace. So blockchain and cryptocurrency security CipherTrace has raised $15 million in funding from investors, including Michael Novogratz, Galaxy Digital. Yeah. And what do? Just basically, they provide analytics and forensics products for cryptocurrencies and blockchains that it says are already used in government to help enforce anti-money laundering laws and tackle crime. So the key is this, again, similar to earlier, this company has investments from Michael Novogratz, again, formerly partner in Goldman Sachs. Again, people with very huge connections on Wall Street, they are investing in this company. What does this company do? Is because they offer the compliance, right, for a lot of the companies that want to deal in crypto, that, making sure that the source of funds are from legit sources, right? And this software will help them to do that efficiently. And this is again definitely one of those key offerings that will be in high demand for crypto exchanges and whichever players that wants to onboard crypto clients, because AML, that means know your customers, where are the source from, is a very big thing for the regulators. And again, this is very important if you want to onboard more institutional, more serious money into this space, and also pave a way again for the Bitcoin ETF. So these two news is really, really key. These two funding is really, really key, right? To enable, is a key infrastructure enabler to encourage the big money to come in. Last, new crypto exchange ranks report analyzes banks versus Bitcoin exchanges. So there is a company, right? What they do is they want to be like the coin market cap, but they want to analyze exchanges. They have actually done an analysis where they compared, right, largest banks, top 5 banks in the world, US and Europe, and the top 5 crypto exchanges, by wallet size, and top 5 banks in emerging markets. Sorry, not top 5, they just select 5 banks in emerging markets. And this is what it shows. They've taken a deposit size for the banks, and for the crypto exchange, they have taken the crypto balances. That means how much, for example, if you hold your Bitcoin in the crypto exchange, that's what they have taken. Now, it shows that basically combining even just the 5 crypto exchanges wallet amounts, it is still only 1% of the biggest bank, JP Morgan. And that shows that, right, this is basically the chart you can see, is like 1,000 times compared the largest banks with the crypto exchange. And even if you look in the next chart, where you compare emerging banks with the crypto exchange, also is about 15 times more. So they are concluding that based on this, the crypto exchange is still a very, very, very small market compared to the established banks that have hundreds of years of history. So it's no surprise, given that crypto is really just 10 years old, and only in the last 3 years or so that it has gone more mainstream. Not even mainstream, it's just early majority, right? So that shows that if you are having Bitcoin today, other cryptocurrencies, you are definitely still among the early adopters. And congratulations to you, that's really great, right? Because this new invention already seeing every day making news with more and more, huge companies, Samsung, Facebook, Twitter, coming on board to, embrace this new technology. It just ought to tell you where the future is going. And also we have a lot of talent, right? A lot from Ex-Goldman, a lot from biggest hedge fund yesterday, coming into this space ought to tell you where the future is really heading. So if you are invested in crypto, and this is definitely my opinion, not financial advice, that you are definitely in the right place, right? And congratulations to you. And yes, right, keep up the good work and really, right, do your own research and really invest more if you want to, right? That's my opinion. But personally, I just did increase my holdings as well today. So that's all I have for today, and thank you so much for your support. For my new subscribers, thank you so much. And if you like this, please subscribe, please leave a like or comment, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless. Thank you.